You with me? So let's do this thing!
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down the 100 greatest animated features of all time. We've based our selections on a mix of story, technical production, and overall significance in both pop culture and film history, spanning different generations, countries, and styles. From hand-drawn to CG to stop motion, this list is a testament to the medium's unlimited possibilities. Number 100, An American Tail.
Somewhere out there, if love can see us through.
For decades, Disney dominated family-friendly feature animation in the US market. Even as Disney hit hard times, few saw reason to compete. That was until former Disney animator Don Bluth threw his hat into the ring.
It belonged to me, my father, and my father's father. And now, it belongs to you. Happy Hanukkah.
Teaming with executive producer Steven Spielberg, Bluth's second feature became the highest-grossing non-Disney animated film for a period, proving there was room for another juggernaut. To an extent, Bluth's journey mirrored Fievel Mouskowitz's immigration from Russia to America. Both left everything behind to pursue a better future. That better future isn't easily earned, with new challenges around every corner. It's worth powering through those hardships to arrive at the happy ending. The beginning of Fievel's new life in America coincided with Bluth's solidification as an animation legend.
Five. Wait! Stop!
I'm coming, Papa!
Number 99, Despicable Me.
Hello, everybody! You all right? Simmer down! Simmer down!
Some would argue that there's a difference between an animated feature and a cartoon. Illumination's debut provided the missing link, as well as the best of both worlds. Despicable Me possessed the first-rate animation and A-list voice cast you would expect from a feature, but the humor consisted of slapstick usually reserved for 7-minute shorts.
Too small! This is too small for me! Oh, I hate that guy.
While much of the plot is an excuse for jokes, Despicable Me doesn't overstay its welcome. In fact, it had remarkable staying power, spawning the highest-grossing animated film franchise thanks to Gru and especially his scene-stealing minions.
Oh.
Not bad. With enough heartfelt moments to balance the laughs, Illumination found its niche as the people's animation studio. Maybe not breaking new technical or thematic ground, but always entertaining the masses with glee. Number 98, Nimona.
Who has 4 thumbs and is great at distractions.
Fine, but dial it down. Something inconspicuous and discreet, like... And she's gone.
With Disney's acquisition of Fox, it wasn't long until the sun prematurely set on Blue Sky Studios. Nimona, which was reportedly around 75% completed, seemed like collateral damage. Through Annapurna, Netflix, and DNEG Animation, though, directors Nick Bruno and Troy Quane brought Nimona to the finish line, giving Blue Sky a proper bookend. Like its titular antihero, the film is anything but conventional.
I framed Alistair. I killed the queen.
That might be why Disney didn't want it, but audiences celebrated Nimona's rebelliousness. As edgy as the film can be, it also seeks to normalize aspects of life that shouldn't be seen as taboo. What's different isn't monstrous until society labels it as so. Rather than force every person into a box, Nimona encourages us to explore everything we can be.
Crispy! Wait, what?
Hope you brought milk!
Number 97, The Adventures of Prince Ahmed. A certain movie about a princess and 7 dwarfs is often cited as the first animated feature. While that was the first cell animated feature, as well as the first made in the US, several filmmakers took a crack at this ambitious idea beforehand. Many predecessors were sadly lost, but The Adventures of Prince Ahmed has been preserved almost a century later. The oldest surviving animated feature, Prince Ahmed is distinguished by director Lotte Reiniger's cutout animation, which continues to inspire modern animators like Rebecca Sugar. Just as integral was the cinematography courtesy of Reiniger's husband Karl Koch, who operated an early version of the multi-plane camera. Ahead of her time in more ways than one, Reiniger's silhouettes opened a door to infinite wonder. Number 96, 101 Dalmatians.
Anita, darling, how are you? Miserable, darling, as usual, perfectly wretched.
Upon release, Disney hadn't produced an animated feature quite like 101 Dalmatians. Its setting, sound, and look were considerably more modern with a UPA influence. The film embraced modern technology as well, going all in on the Xerox process that allowed animators to transfer drawings straight to cells, no longer having to ink by hand.
Come out wherever you are. Boris! Ooh! It's that mangy tabby cat. He's the ringleader. Head him off, Boris. Head him off.
This proved especially practical in a production consisting of 6,469,952 spots. As contemporary as the film was in these respects, it was equally timeless, with characters we remember decades later. Few villains are more memorable than Cruella de Vil, an ideal marriage between Betty Lou Gerson's eccentric voiceover performance and animation by Mark Davis, who reminds us that animators are actors in their own right.
We'll find the little mongrels if it takes till next Christmas. Now get going! And watch your driving, you imbeciles!
Number 95, The Simpsons Movie.
I can't believe we're paying to see something we get on TV for free. If you ask me, everybody in this theater is a giant sucker.
What makes you feel older? That The Simpsons Movie took 18 years to reach theaters, or that it's been almost another 18 years since the film's release? Either way, the hype was astronomical, and not only due to the build-up. Matt Groening's creation remained the yellow standard for primetime animation even with the rockier modern seasons. The movie recaptured that classic Simpsons spark, bringing back several key writers and veteran director David Silverman.
The most polluted city in the history of the planet.
Drama queen.
To prevent your poisons from spreading, your government has sealed you all within this dome.
The story raised the physical and emotional stakes. For a film featuring Bart skateboard streaking, it's surprisingly emotional, with Julie Kavner recording a particular scene over 100 times. The dome might have added a cinematic element, but Marge's tear-jerking video message elevated this from a long episode to a movie.
So I'm leaving with the kids to help Springfield, and we're never coming back. And to prove to myself that this is the end, I taped this over our wedding video.
Number 94, Fritz the Cat.
You spend years and years with your nose buried in these goddamn tomes, while the world is passing you by.
Decades before The Simpsons broke new ground for adult animation on TV, Ralph Bakshi pulled off a similar feat theatrically. Of course, where The Simpsons has its family values, Fritz the Cat is strictly for the grown-up crowd. So much so that it was the first US animated feature to warrant an X rating. While never skimping on sex, drugs, swearing, violence, and animal nudity, it also tackled timely subjects like race, counterculture, and free love, mirroring the era with gritty surrealism.
Well, what's the state of his political consciousness?
Practically nil, I'm afraid.
The film was just as influential for independent animation, grossing nearly $90 million on a $700,000 budget. Although based on R. Crumb's Underground comics, a film this bold, unhinged, and appropriately all over the map could only stem from Ralph Bakshi.
Hey boy, can I have a drink?
Oh, man.
Number 93, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mutant Mayhem.
You don't remember why humans are disgusting monsters? Why they're dangerous? Why they're gonna milk us for our blood?
Daddy, we don't even have nipples.
You know what? I gotta tell the story again.
No!
For a franchise infused with 80s and 90s culture, Ninja Turtles has proven surprisingly timeless, adapting to every era with a twist. Mutant mayhem is classic Turtles, but it also manages to be something more. Director Jeff Rowe brings a fresh aesthetic to the series, with the rough edges of notebook doodles brought to life through state-of-the-art animation.
Yo, come on, y'all. Let's get the goods.
The film overflows with top-tier voice talent, including Jackie Chan as Splinter and producer Seth Rogen as Bebop. Yet it's the playful camaraderie between the four central voice actors that captures the theme of brotherhood and the teenage experience. Echoing John Hughes, this is a coming-of-age story that reflects how every teenager feels like a reptilian mutant at some point.
Oh, snap. Oh, wow, that vest is a choice, huh?
I had hair like that.
I wish I had hair, period.
You did go bald at a young age.
Number 92, The Emperor's New Groove.
But, Your Highness, I have been nothing if not loyal to the Empire for many, many years.
Hey, everybody hits their stride. You just hit yours 50 years ago.
A buddy road trip comedy with the spirit of a Looney Tune, The Emperor's New Groove couldn't have been more different than the musical epic that Disney initially envisioned. Given its turbulent production, the film had no right to be even remotely good. Yet this new direction didn't just work. Mark Dindal delivered one of the funniest and most unique entries in the Disney library, showing a capacity for slapstick and self-aware humor that few realized the studio had. The voice cast took every joke to the next level, with Eartha Kitt and Patrick Warburton making for one of our favorite villainous duos.
This isn't poison. This is extract of llama! Ugh.
You know, in my defense, your poisons all look alike. You might think about relabeling some of them.
Whenever we're in a funk, we can always rely on this film to put a smile on our faces. Number 91, Jujutsu Kaisen 0. Gege Akutami's best-selling manga, Jujutsu Kaisen, paved the way for an anime series that premiered in 2020. That story's prologue, Jujutsu Kaisen 0, was also supposed to be covered on the small screen. Seeing the potential to flesh out the story, Studio Mappa chose to pursue the theatrical feature route. The increased budget is evident in the film's haunting backgrounds, detailed character designs, and the most intense action the franchise has seen. It's a welcome instruction for newcomers, plunging them into a world where talking pandas and guys who speak in Spice Bowl ingredients are the norm. As absurd as that sounds, there's more to this story than meets the eye, with themes of loss, trauma, and turning our curses into gifts.
おめでとう。解除達成だね。
誰？
グッドルッキングガイ五条悟先生だよ。
Number 90, Big Hero 6.
You do have a mild allergy to peanuts.
Not bad. You've done some serious coding on this thing, huh?
Uh-huh. Programmed him with over 10,000 medical procedures.
After Marvel's acquisition in 2009, some feared the comic book juggernaut would undergo Disneyfication. The MCU proved otherwise, but what happens when you combine Disney's heart, humor, and first-rate animation with Marvel's superhero action? You get the Oscar-winning Big Hero 6.
Time to shrink now.
You should expect an increase in body hair, especially on your face, chest, armpits, and...
Thank you! That's enough!
Just as the backdrop blends elements of San Francisco and Tokyo into a dazzling urban fusion, this film seamlessly merges two entertainment giants into one. While the film feels 50% Marvel and 50% Disney, it isn't like anything either brand has attempted before or since. Adding to its one-of-a-kind nature is a clear appreciation of anime, unlocking the best of the Eastern and Western worlds.
Maybe enough flying for today. What do you say?
Your neurotransmitter levels are rising steadily.
Which means what?
The treatment is working.
It also gave us an instant animation icon in Baymax, a robot with limited expressions, but all the feels. Number 89, The Land Before Time.
A tree star.
It is very special, and it'll help you grow strong. Where we are going, there are so many of these leaves.
Number 88, The Princess and the Frog.
Kissing would be nice, yes?
I'm sorry.
Number 87, Happy Feet. Number 86, Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh, you could just stay here and live in the castle. You'd have your own wing where no one would ever complain about your stench or treat you bad ever again. You could be happy.
I'm already happy.
Number 85, Yellow Submarine.
Hey, Ringo. I've just had the strangest dream.
This animated jukebox musical was conceived as a way for the Beatles to fulfill a contract obligation without appearing on screen. While the Fab Four do show up for a live-action cameo, their animated counterparts are voiced by other performers.
Hey, would you believe me if I told you I was being followed by a yellow submarine?
No, I would not.
Oh, yeah. Doesn't think you would.
Considering its background, Yellow Submarine could have been phoned in. The results were revolutionary, however. Heinz Edelman's art direction changed how various people viewed animation, calling to mind what you'd find in a museum of modern art. Although younger fans could appreciate the music and visuals, Yellow Submarine was truly for an older audience who could grasp the psychedelic overtones and undertones. Just as the Beatles awakened many musically, Yellow Submarine opened numerous eyes to what animation could be in this new age of experimentation.
All you need is love. All you need is love.
Number 84, Cats Don't Dance. Number 83, Meet the Robinsons.
Now, show me how to work this thing.
It doesn't work. Never did.
Well, supposing it did, and if one were presenting the invention to, say, a board of directors for a very large invention company, where might one find the on switch?
Number 82, A Goofy Movie.
Have a good time, Dad. If you're gonna be gone more than a month, drop me a line.
But Max, this isn't just my vacation. It's a vacation with me and my best buddy.
Oh, Donald Duck?
No, silly. With you.
Number 81, South Park. Bigger, longer, and uncut.
This is what we wanted! We wanted our children to be brought up in a smut-free environment! But we didn't want this! Where are you going? We're going to find our boys. For God's sake, Sheila, we're going to get them killed!
Number 80, The Lego Movie.
When you're part of a team!
The Lego Movie can call itself an Oscar nominee thanks to the infinitely catchy Everything is Awesome. As far as Best Animated Feature goes, though, Phil Lord and Christopher Miller's audience favorite may be the most gaping omission in the category's history.
Any of you fellas seen this guy? Wait a minute, partner. Draw a cowboy hat on him.
Much like how protagonist Emmett is initially written off as an average construction worker, some refuse to see the film as anything more than a toy commercial. The story takes advantage of the Lego name, however, using every building block to construct an imaginative, funny, and heartwarming story that embraces individuality over conformity. It may be simple on the surface, but behind the yellow plastic is something truly special. Plus, who doesn't love Lego Batman?
Yeah, anyway, you guys gotta check out these new subwoofers I installed in the back. I call them the dogs. Listen to them bark!
Number 79, Zootopia. Number 78, Lilo and Stitch.
Hi.
Oh, how?
Wow.
Number 77, Metropolis.
Metropolis is a city of levels with tight transit controls.
I have police clearance, but most robots are marked with a zone code. They're not allowed to surface.
So that robot had a mark.
That's correct, young man.
Number 76, Klaus.
That's right.
Go, reindeer.
It's good teamwork here. We're making good time.
Strong, cooperative.
Number 75, James and the Giant Peach.
I'll take them both on. I'm indefeatable. I'm indivisible. I'm in trouble! It's Spiker and Sponge! They found us!
This adaptation of Roald Dahl's book may open in live action, but even these scenes have an animated sentiment with storybook-esque production design. It isn't long until James is given a stop-motion makeover alongside a cast of the most lovable insects you're inclined to ever meet, each with a well-defined personality and design.
And we'll need bait. Bird bait.
Bird bait? Where do you expect we're gonna find bird bait out here in the middle of the... Oh no. No!
The titular Giant Peach, while not sentient, also has a life of its own, making for one of the most atmospheric sets in stop motion. This material was tailor-made for director Henry Selick, who crafts a dreamlike world that's simultaneously eerie and whimsical. Like The Wizard of Oz, the film wasn't a financial success upon release, but it has gone on to be rediscovered as a classic that may even surpass the source material. Number 74, Peter Pan.
When there's a smile in your heart, there's no better time to start.
Number 73, Neon Genesis Evangelion, The End of Evangelion.
When the earth, the moon, and the sun are all gone, Eva will exist so long as just one person remains. It'll be lonely, but as long as one person still lives,
it will be eternal proof that mankind ever existed.
Number 72, I Lost My Body. Number 71, A Silent Voice.
やばい、めっちゃ美味しい。次、タイムラインは？
よく学校来れるようになった。
ビリ組の店、箸いいよ。行く行く。
Number 70, Perfect Blue.
あなた誰なの？誰もあなたなんて好きじゃない。汚れちゃった、汚れちゃった。やめて、やめてったら。私は汚れてないか。
Director Satoshi Kon blended reality and fantasy to the point that they felt interchangeable. While most of his films blurred the line between the two, each came with a distinct signature. In Perfect Blue, Kon tapped into the psychological thriller genre. The arresting story follows Mima Kirigoe, a singer-turned-actress embroiled in a murder plot and identity crisis as a stalker draws closer. The world becomes Mima's stage, leaving us to guess whether she's descending into madness, manipulation, or the performance of a lifetime. Despite denying claims that Perfect Blue inspired Black Swan, Darren Aronofsky eulogized Kon following his passing in 2010. Although Kon lost his life tragically young, he left behind a prolific body of work, capped off with his swan song, Paprika.
No, it's our show time!
Number 69, It's Such a Beautiful Day.
He will learn to meditate to control all pain, as wars will be fought, and great loves found, and lost, and found.
Number 68, The Secret of Nim.
Why have you come?
Please, forgive me for disturbing you, but my son's life is in great danger.
Number 67, Mary and Max. Number 66, Castle in the Sky.
A superior being such as myself has only one option. Burn them. Don't you agree?
Number 65, Loving Vincent.
Live longer. You'll see. Life can even bring down the strong.
Every movie is technically a work of art, but rarely has that been more apparent than in Loving Vincent. Dorota Kobiela came from a painting background, setting out to make a 7-minute short after becoming enamored by Vincent van Gogh's letters. During production, she married fellow filmmaker Hugh Welchman, who came on as a co-director after encouraging her to produce a feature. With the aid of 125 professional painters, they spent 6 years developing 65,000 oil frames. The outcome was the first painted animated feature, bringing Van Gogh's works to life. To those who don't view animation as high art, every still from Loving Vincent could be displayed in a museum. Craft aside, it celebrates Van Gogh in ways a live-action biopic never can.
For the moment, I'm going to go to bed because it's late. And I wish you good night and good luck with a handshake. Your loving Vincent.
Number 64, Alice in Wonderland.
It all started while I was sitting on the riverbank with Dinah.
Very interesting. Who's Dinah?
Why, Dinah's my cat.
Number 63, Hercules.
Get it, ladies.
Shout it from the mountain tops. A star is born. It's a time for pulling out the stops. A star is born.
Number 62, The Red Turtle. Number 61, Bambi.
Your mother can't be with you anymore.
Number 60, Howl's Moving Castle.
You're not working for the Witch of the Waste, are you?
I would never work for that witch. She's the one who...
The great Hayao Miyazaki has given us numerous inventive characters, outdoing himself with this film's titular castle. Nature and machinery are two of the most prominent themes in Miyazaki's filmography. The moving castle encompasses both on a gigantic scale, roaming the countryside in all its magical, mechanical wonder.
Sophie! Here! Marco, help me! How am I supposed to land this thing?
Although based on Diana Wynne Jones's novel, Miyazaki was influenced more by the 2003 invasion of Iraq, touching upon war and pacifism. On a more personal level, protagonist Sophie embarks on a journey of self-discovery. She seeks out the wizard Howl to lift the curse on her, but Sophie truly saves him. Miyazaki has called this his favorite work, and while we'd place a few of his films higher, Howl's Moving Castle is an all-around astounding achievement.
One thing you can always count on is that hearts change. So as soon as this war is over, I shall return.
I love it when you talk like that. I look forward to your return, big boy.
Number 59, The Girl Who Leapt Through Time.
Makoto? Huh? What the hell are you doing down there?
Nothing at all.
Number 58, The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Number 57, Mulan. Number 56, The Triplets of Belleville. Number 55, Kubo and the Two Strings.
No reason to be afraid, Kubo. We just need your other eye. Your grandfather admires it so.
No U.S. animation house is doing more exciting things with stop motion today than the Oregon-based Laika, a successor to Will Vinton Studios. Laika co-founder Travis Knight made his feature directorial debut with Kubo and the Two Strings, which marries the studio's signature stop motion with the essence of an anime. It achieves this with an art style that draws from origami, ink wash painting, and woodblock printing. These ancient techniques go hand in hand with cutting-edge effects, earning the team one of 2 Oscar nominations. The original story feels as if it could have been passed down through generations, creating a layered lore that doesn't overshadow the endearing characters. Winning the BAFTA, Kubo is the kind of epic we only get once in a blue moon.
You want to be human? Then share their weakness. Suffer their humiliation. Feel their pain.
Number 54, The Breadwinner.
She knew he must be on a quest, and so she asked him, "What is it you seek?"
Number 53, Millennium Actress.
世の中はすっかり変わって手がかり一つなかったけど、もしかしたら
あの人が私の笑顔を見てくれるかもしれない。
Number 52, Tarzan. Number 51, Kung Fu Panda.
I vowed to train you, and you have been trained. You are free to eat. Enjoy.
Hey!
I said you are free to eat.
Number 50, Frozen.
The gloves will help. See? Conceal it.
Don't feel it.
Entering a new golden age in the 2010s, Disney animation was on a hot streak that reached its boiling point with Frozen. The most successful Disney films are often the ones that evolve the familiar into something game-changing. Frozen may be a fairy tale with princesses, comedic relief, and music. Yet Chris Buck and Jennifer Lee's film didn't just reinvent Hans Christian Andersen's The Snow Queen. Disney reinvented itself, awakening Sleeping Beauty like never before.
Bothered me anyway.
Robert Lopez and Kristen Anderson Lopez's songs turned Frozen into a phenomenon, elevating a profound story about sisterhood and the varied facets of true love. Modern and nostalgic in all the right ways, Frozen resonated with generations new and old, winning Disney Animation Studios their first Best Animated Feature Oscar.
An act of true love will thaw a frozen heart.
Love will thaw.
Number 49, Wallace and Gromit, The Curse of the Were-Rabbit. Number 48, Tangled.
I'm not scared anymore. You know what I mean?
I'm starting to.
All those days chasing down a daydream.
Number 47, Up. Number 46, Ghost in the Shell. Number 45, Grave of the Fireflies. Grave of the Fireflies seems like an anti-war film at first glance, presenting World War II from the perspectives of a Japanese boy named Seita and his little sister Setsuko. While it doesn't portray war positively, director Isao Takahata had another message in mind. Although the siblings are victims of the war-torn backdrop, Seita doesn't make the wisest choices, despite his best efforts to keep himself and Setsuko alive.
Should I get a doctor, Seita? Why did he hurt you?
It may be a period piece, but Takahata made the film for a young modern audience, wishing to evoke empathy. However you interpret the story, Roger Ebert perfectly summed up Grave of the Fireflies as, quote, an emotional experience so powerful that it forces a rethinking of animation. A powerful dramatic film that happens to be animated. Number 44, Persepolis. Number 43, The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh.
These are the wrong sorts of bees.
Number 42, Toy Story 2.
Use your head.
But I don't want to use my hand!
Number 41, Encanto.
What a joy you stay, but anyway, we don't talk about Bruno, no.
Number 40, Song of the Sea.
Dad said I'm in charge, and I say there's no going in the water. It's dangerous.
With The Secret of Kells, Tom Moore and the rest of Cartoon Saloon kicked off the Irish Folklore trilogy, which 2020's Wolfwalkers concluded. This trilogy's best outing came in the middle. While more contemporary than the first or third chapters, Song of the Sea is every bit as timeless. The film isn't just grounded in Celtic mythology, but also perennial themes of abandonment, reconciliation, and family.
The Silky song will send us all home. Wisht, will you? Come on now, Silky. Sing it. Does she know the words?
Nature is also at the story's root, with Adrien Mérigeau's art direction bringing out the beauty of Ireland in every soothing backdrop. Maintaining the trilogy's signature medieval art aesthetic, the stunning hand-drawn animation breaks down each environment and character to their most basic components. Beneath every simple exterior is a wealth of depth and atmosphere. Number 39, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish.
What's the matter? Lives flashing before your eyes?
No, just one. I'm done running.
Number 38, Moana.
I have crossed the horizon to find you.
Number 37, The Mitchells vs. the Machines.
Estelle, when we are finished with you, there will be no leftovers.
Oh, I thought that kill code thing would take him out.
Yeah, but it's only at 12%.
Would you like a soda? Just kidding.
Number 36, Inside Out.
I'm sorry. Riley needs to be happy. Joy?
Number 35, Waltz with Bashir. An animated documentary was nothing new in 2008. The concept can be traced back to Winsor McCay's The Sinking of the Lusitania in 1918. Through Waltz with Bashir, though, director Ari Folman demonstrated how effective animation can be in nonfiction storytelling. A Lebanon war veteran, Folman also has recollections of the Sabra and Shatila massacre. Of course, memories are often full of holes and don't always align with what actually happened. Rather than recreate experiences using live actors, animation cleverly plays into the larger theme. Memories aren't set in stone like documentary footage. They change and fade over time, looking like a puzzle without all the right pieces. Animation is the ideal medium to convey this, taking us to the crossroads of reality and memory. Number 34, The Iron Giant. Number 33, Monsters, Inc.
Hey, may the best monster win.
I plan to.
We are on in 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Number 32, Kiki's Delivery Service.
Fly.
Watch out!
Number 31, Aladdin.
Unbelievable sight, indescribable feeling.
Number 30, Coco.
Grab it tight and make it come true.
Centered on a young Mexican musician whose family doesn't approve of his passion, Coco sounds like a story we've heard before. Appearances can be deceiving, however. Your idol can be a fraud, a scoundrel can be a loving father, and a senseless dog can be a spirit guide. The titular Coco appears unreachable during her twilight years. There's still a person behind her weary eyes, though, just waiting to be awakened.
My friend, you're being forgotten.
And whose fault is that?
Hector, please.
The way music ties into this tale of family and remembrance is nothing short of brilliant. Pixar is known for telling stories through witty dialogue and beautiful imagery, which Coco by no means lacks. Yet some emotions can only be expressed through song. Lee Unkrich's film takes Pixar to new places musically and culturally.
Don't let it make you cry, for even if I'm far away, I hold you in my heart. I sing a secret song to you each night we are apart.
Number 29, Coraline.
What are you doing here in the middle of the night?
You're just in time for supper, dear.
You're not my mother. My mother doesn't have
buttons?
Number 28, Toy Story 3.
I didn't throw you away. Your kid did. Ain't one kid ever loved a toy, really. Chew on that when you're at the dump.
Wait. What about Daisy?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Number 27, Sleeping Beauty.
Thou sword of truth, fly swift and sure, that evil die and good endure.
Number 26, Pinocchio.
Little puppet made of pine, wake. The gift of life is thine.
What they can't do these days.
Number 25, Fantastic Mr. Fox.
I don't want to live in a hole anymore. It makes me feel poor.
We are poor.
Another stop-motion film based on a Roald Dahl book, Henry Selick nearly directed Fantastic Mr. Fox with Wes Anderson. As other projects caught Selick's attention, Anderson took the helm in what would be his first animated feature. It was a natural transition given how animated Anderson's live-action films are, making the mundane seem playful, even otherworldly.
What's happening? Am I still paranoid? Cider.
While the stop motion is sophisticated, every character is given a scruffy edge that strangely makes them feel more alive. The central characters may be animals, but they have more humanity than the farmers living above the surface, tying into themes like class and identity. The autumn color palette also complements the theme of change as our protagonist adapts to his surroundings, emerging as a better husband, father, and fox.
2-hour survival. How was that?
That was a good toast.
Number 24, The Prince of Egypt. Number 23, The Little Mermaid.
Out of the sea, wish I could be part of that world.
Number 22, Princess Mononoke. Number 21, Finding Nemo.
Oh, it's just as well he might be hungry.
Don't worry, whales don't eat clownfish, they eat krill.
Oh, look, krill!
Number 20, Cinderella.
Leave it to me. What a gown this will be. Bibbidi-bobbidi, bibbidi-bobbidi, bibbidi-bobbidi.
Mark Davis was the hand behind Cinderella's dress transformation, which is said to be Walt Disney's favorite piece of animation. That could be because it was symbolic of the studio. Following the hardships of World War II, Disney had virtually everything riding on Cinderella to prove that feature animation could be profitable. In true rags-to-riches fashion, Cinderella was Disney's most successful film in more than a decade, winning over the masses with angelic music, delightful comedic relief, and an elegantly evil villain.
Don't you think so, Drizella?
No, I don't. I think she's... why, you little thief! They're mine!
Cinderella herself might not be as complex as some Disney princesses who followed, but she embodies a positive message that through hard work, perseverance, and kind-heartedness, good things will eventually come your way. Such was the case for Disney after several difficult years. Number 19, Chicken Run. Aardman Animations had already won 3 Oscars for short subjects by the time they produced their first feature. Chicken Run soared with the wit, charm, and ingenuity audiences had come to anticipate from stop-motion masters like Nick Park and Peter Lord. The story offered even more, with a grim setting, yet a hopeful message. Our feathered heroes find themselves imprisoned by Mrs. Tweedy, who is cruel and intimidating enough to be a POW officer. The film is as funny as it is suspenseful, taking inspiration from The Great Escape. Whether you're a vegetarian or meat eater, it's impossible not to become invested in the chicken's plight as they attempt to take flight. Chicken Run flew the coop, with the highest box office returns in stop-motion history.
What have we done? This is it, everyone. We're escaping. Oh, no. Now.
Number 18, Batman, Mask of the Phantasm.
He's usually here by now.
Conceived as a straight-to-video movie to hold over audiences between the first and second seasons of Batman the Animated Series, Mask of the Phantasm was upgraded to a theatrical release. Although this came with a larger budget, Warner Brothers' resources didn't extend to marketing. Despite flopping, audiences discovered Mask of the Phantasm in time. With a tragic romance, enthralling mystery, and an emphasis on the man behind the mask, it's come to be recognized as one of the finest superhero movies ever made, not just animated.
Might one ask what this bodes for your alter ego?
I'm not sure, Alfred. Everything's happening so fast.
While there have been some phenomenal live-action Batman movies, animation finds the character at his most natural, with Art Deco backdrops and imposing shadows lending flawlessly to a film noir story about the past returning to haunt the present.
Gotta hand it to you, nice scheme. Costume's a bit theatrical, but hey, who am I to talk?
Number 17, Your Name.
もうこんな街嫌や。こんな人生嫌や。来世は東京のイケメン男子にしてください。
Summoning a storm of emotion in Weathering with You and giving life to a three-legged chair in Suzume, Makoto Shinkai has established himself as a modern master of animation. For many, his best film is still Your Name, which broke box office records while helping to bridge the gap between Eastern and Western animation fans. On that note, separation is a key theme in the tale of Taki and Mitsuha, two strangers who somehow switch bodies. They aren't only separated by location, but by time as well. Despite this physical distance, Taki and Mitsuha feel spiritually connected, growing closer in a race against the clock. The story leaves you breathless around every turn, building to a finale that's about as uplifting as love stories get. Number 16, Ratatouille.
I can't cook, can I? But you can, right?
They've yet to win a Best Picture Oscar, but Pixar has reached a pinnacle of storytelling that only a handful of filmmakers, animated or live action, have come close to touching. Something similar can be said about Remy. To some, Remy's species discredits him as a chef. Once you've tasted his ratatouille, though, it will change the way you view food and the artists who prepare it. At its core, Brad Bird's film is about pursuing one's passions, no matter how far-fetched. Even if your work isn't always showered with the rewards it deserves, there's nothing more satisfying than sharing your creation with those who see its value. There isn't a better chef in Paris than Remy, and with Ratatouille, Pixar exemplifies why they are Hollywood's top chef.
Only now do I truly understand what he meant. Not everyone can become a great artist. But a great artist can come from anywhere.
Number 15, The Nightmare Before Christmas.
This is Halloween, this is Halloween, 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 Halloween.
When Tim Burton arrived at Disney, the studio didn't know what to do with the young animator. Burton soon moved on to other studios that did, resulting in multiple hits as audiences embraced his gothic artistry. Realizing they let a big fish get away, Disney sought to mend the relationship by adapting a poem that Burton wrote while at the studio. With Burton co-producing and Henry Selick making his feature directorial debut, The Nightmare Before Christmas was a turning point for stop motion.
Leave that no-account oogie-boogie out of this!
Whatever you say, Jack. Of course, Jack. Wouldn't dream of it, Jack.
Once defined by the Rankin & Bass Christmas specials, stop motion soon gained a reputation for telling darker, more twisted stories. Nightmare unearthed the ideal middle ground between the joy of Christmas and the frights of Halloween, becoming a staple of more than one holiday.
For it is plain, as anyone can see, we're simply meant to be.
Number 14, How to Train Your Dragon 2.
Swordfight, come on, go!
You will never hold on to those dragons, you hear me? Drogo is coming for them all!
The setup for How to Train Your Dragon treaded on formulaic territory. With directors Chris Sanders and Dean DeBlois at the forefront, however, it felt like we were hearing an age-old story for the first time. DeBlois flew solo on the sequel, which took the story to more mature and unexpected places. Unlike some other animated franchises where time never moves, DreamWorks allowed Hiccup and Toothless to grow with their audience. How to Train Your Dragon 2 thus surpasses its predecessor, expanding the action, lore, and dramatic tension.
Now do you get it? This is what it is to earn a dragon's loyalty. Let this end now.
The plot places Hiccup in truly challenging situations that can't always be resolved with peaceful negotiation. There comes a time when every leader needs to fight, and the battles here are as epic as they come.
You see, we have something they don't. Oh, sure, they have armies, and they have armadas, but we have our dragons!
Number 13, My Neighbor Totoro. My Neighbor Totoro is essentially a slice of life picture. Sure, that slice of life comes with mystical creatures like the Susuwatari, a cat bus, and of course, Totoro. When you're a child playing in the forest, though, the extraordinary can seem ordinary. The film is the epitome of what Hayao Miyazaki and Studio Ghibli do best, making Totoro a fitting mascot for the company. My Neighbor Totoro creates a world without venturing far beyond the character's backyard. Miyazaki captures a precise moment in childhood between those carefree days of escapism and when every young person grasps the notion of mortality. Nobody's childhood lasts forever, but watching My Neighbor Totoro, we're taken back to a simpler time that was more complex than we realized.
Totoro, 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 Totoro.
Number 12, Shrek.
Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me.
Shrek won the inaugural Oscar for Best Animated Feature, ushering in several new beginnings. It launched a billion-dollar franchise, bringing in even more green with its record-breaking sequel. It set a tone for DreamWorks as the edgy alternative to Disney, giving a whole new voice to animation.
I am eternally in your debt. And where would a brave knight be without his noble steed?
All right, I hope you heard that. She called me a noble steed.
Speaking of voices, the casting here is so spot on that the actors practically escape into their characters, most notably Eddie Murphy's donkey. The screenplay is a masterstroke of satire, taking shots at everything from fairy tales to Lord Farquaad's shortcomings, pushing the family-friendly label to the limit. Underneath its cynical exterior is a surprisingly big heart and a message about what true beauty looks like, flipping the conventional happy ending on its head.
I'm supposed to be beautiful.
But you are beautiful.
Number 11, WALL-E.
Wally.
Although Pixar trailblazed computer animation into the mainstream, the studio perhaps had a more substantial impact on screenwriting, making the dialogue the star of every movie. While WALL-E isn't devoid of dialogue, it tested Pixar's ability to tell a story primarily through visuals, sound, and Thomas Newman's score. Pixar pulled this off with a protagonist in the spirit of Chaplin or Keaton, set against a futuristic backdrop worthy of Kubrick. Its vision of the 29th century is looking more like the 21st every day, as humanity succumbs to corporate greed, unmanaged waste, and an over-reliance on technology. Andrew Stanton's film doesn't condemn technology, though, showing its capacity to learn and love. WALL-E is a love story above all else, making us cry for a robot. Number 10, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio.
Everything is new to me.
You, stand back! Don't come near me!
After over a decade in development hell, Guillermo del Toro completed his passion project with the late stop-motion wizard Mark Gustafson. Rather than try to recreate the Disney classic, Del Toro took his Pinocchio in an entirely different direction. The film is just as much about Geppetto as he grieves one son while learning to unconditionally love another. As for Pinocchio, his arc goes beyond learning to be a real boy. Pinocchio learns what it means to be human against the bleak backdrop of fascist Italy.
This boy cannot be killed! He's the ideal soldier! He must be drafted and taken into his camps by law. You will learn to fight and fire a weapon and be a real Italian boy.
It grows into a symbol of individuality, gaining empathy and a willingness to make sacrifices for those he loves. Pinocchio might not become human in this version, but that doesn't mean he lacks a soul.
And you will be my papa. Will that do?
That will do.
Number 9, Akira. anime's presence in North America stretches as far back as the early 60s. The modern anime boom as we know it, however, didn't take off until distributor Streamline Pictures introduced Akira to the US. Based on his own manga, Katsuhiro Otomo's magnum opus was a wake-up call for US audiences who failed to realize how action-oriented and adult animation can be. Akira is uncompromisingly violent, but it isn't senseless. Akira stimulates the mind with its themes and TMS Entertainment's imagery, which is gorgeous even at its most grotesque.
殺す気だったのか、この俺を。ふざけた真似しやがって。ぶち殺してやるぜ！お前は、あん時の。
Neo Tokyo is cinema's definitive cyberpunk metropolis, rivaled only by Los Angeles in Ridley Scott's Blade Runner. Funny how both films take place in 2019, although we're still waiting for manufacturers to build Kaneda's motorbike. Number 8, Beauty and the Beast.
Look, there she goes, the girl is strange, no question. And distracted, can't you tell?
Animation was overdue for a Best Picture nomination by 1991. Beauty and the Beast could not have been more deserving of such a milestone. It was in the tradition of the Disney fairy tale, but Gary Truesdale, Kirk Wise, and their team took everything to the next step. Belle established herself as the most progressive Disney heroine yet, while the central romance shattered the notion of love at first sight.
Thank you for saving my life.
You're welcome.
Belle and the Beast must work through their differences, finding that beauty comes from within. This is exquisitely expressed through the Oscar-winning title song by Alan Menken and the late Howard Ashman, the latter of whom, quote, gave a mermaid her voice and a beast his soul. Their influence on animated musicals is still felt decades later.
Tale as old as time, song as old as rhyme, Beauty and the Beast.
Number 7, The Incredibles.
Mom, it's time to engage! Do something! Don't just stand there! I need you to intervene!
You want me to intervene? Okay, I'm intervening!
At a time when superhero movies were just starting to take over the industry, The Incredibles stood out for several reasons. The film had a more satirical edge, deriving comedy not only through superhero tropes, but family dynamics as well. The latter is where Brad Bird's wonderful film excelled. 8 years before the Avengers assembled on the silver screen, Bird demonstrated the strength of a superhero team lies not in their powers, but in their personalities. The Parr family works off each other so naturally that watching them sit down to dinner is every bit as entertaining as watching them battle a robot. The film's balance of action, humor, and relatability foreshadowed various superhero movies to come, although few have been more incredible.
That was totally wicked!
Number 6, Fantasia. Fantasia is proof that animation can share the same artistic value as a classical piece of music. When combined, they create a new form of entertainment. Disney's ambitious vision also innovated new technology like Fantasound, a forerunner to surround sound. Ahead of its time in every sense, Fantasia didn't immediately win over audiences or critics, but its endurance is felt in each segment. No version of Mickey Mouse commands more gravitas than the one in The Sorcerer's Apprentice. Never have the dinosaurs appeared more majestic or threatening than in Rite of Spring. Rarely has a film transitioned from haunting to inspiring more gracefully than in the finale Night on Bald Mountain and Ave Maria. Disney understood animation's true power, and everyone else was catching up. Number 5, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Great animated films come out every year. Only once in a generation, though, does an animated film reach an uncharted frontier that leaves the medium forever changed. Into the Spider-Verse didn't just swing to a new frontier. It took us to several new frontiers, overloading our senses one frame and comic book panel at a time. Miles Morales' team-up with various spider people offers countless creative possibilities, but this setup also ties into a deeper message that anyone can wear the mask.
Guess this is it.
Well, nice to know we're not alone.
Likewise, animation can be anything we imagine, although there are so many masks we've yet to try on. If you still don't take animation or superheroes seriously, Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse are cinema evolving right before our eyes.
I've been the one and only Spider-Man. I think you know the rest.
Number 4, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Oh, was it the children now?
Even if it wasn't the first animated feature ever, Snow White is the film that changed everything, and not just for Disney. Few other than Walt believed cartoons could be more than silly 7-minute segments. Could an animated character honestly conjure the same emotions that we feel for live actors on the screen? Hollywood assumed not, prematurely writing Snow White off as Disney's folly. People had a change of tune following its premiere at the Carthay Circle Theater as audiences wept over Snow White's apparent demise and rejoiced as her eyes awakened to the happiest of endings. Of course, this was only the beginning. In what could have been a trial run, Disney instead threw every resource into making the most magical movie imaginable. Number 3, The Lion King.
Long live the king.
The apex of the Disney Renaissance, The Lion King showcased just how big animation can be. We're not just talking about the film's record-shattering box office or the ensuing media franchise that's still making bank 30 years later. From the moment we hear the opening song's first note against an all-encompassing sunrise, the audience is overwhelmed by the sheer grandeur of nature and cinema. Every aspect of Roger Allers and Rob Minkoff's film feels larger than life, from Hans Zimmer's heart-pounding score to the sweeping African landscapes to a story that's practically biblical with Shakespearean echoes. The Lion King was a cultural landmark that united audiences everywhere through its music, characters, and visuals, connecting us all in the circle of life. Number 2, Toy Story.
Pull my string, the birthday party's today? Okay, everybody, coast is clear.
Disney distributed Toy Story, but with their first feature, John Lasseter, Andrew Stanton, Pete Docter, and the rest of Pixar sought to distinguish themselves from the mouse and all other animation studios. The film's trailblazing CG animation was one way, showing the industry that the computer is just another tool like pencil and paper. Pixar understood from the get-go that technology doesn't matter without appealing characters or an involving story. Toy Story had both in addition to heart, finding humanity in plastic.
To infinity and beyond!
Setting a new standard with its contemporary backdrop, sharp screenplay, and groundbreaking animation, Toy Story is the film that almost every American animated feature has been chasing since. Yet there's only one Toy Story, except Toy Story 2, 3, 4, and soon 5.
Now, Buzz, what could Andy possibly get that is worse than you?
Oh, what is it? What is it? Wow, a puppy!
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Spirited Away.
If you want a job, you'll have to make a deal with Yubaba. She's the head honcho here.
Given this lineup, selecting one film above all others seemed daunting. The more we thought about it, though, the more obvious our choice became. To be regarded as the greatest animated movie of all time, one pick needed to take full advantage of the medium. No film celebrates animation's endless potential quite like Hayao Miyazaki's Spirited Away, packing mind-blowing imagery into every frame.
Hang on, almost there.
Miyazaki creates a world so rich that any background character could carry a side story. Yet the star here is the ordinary Chihiro, who anchors the fantastical plot with a universal story about discovering confidence. Making history as the first Japanese animated feature to win an Oscar, Spirited Away is a revelation of filmmaking and imagination that only one medium could realize.
So, you were the one who carried me back into shallow water. You saved me! I knew you were good!
Did we forget any animated films? Of course we did, because 100 is not enough. Let us know your favorites in the comments.
Wow! I tell you what, wow! So long, everybody!
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.